Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 1 of the Dynasty Rebuild on NCAA 25. I am so excited. We're finally here. We waited 11 years for this. Okay. Now, the school I'm going to be choosing to rebuild, we're going to choose something a little different. We're not going to go 5-star. We're not going to go 4-star. We're not going to go 3-star. Not even 2-star. We're going to start off with a 1-star program here. And we're going for the long haul, okay? We don't want to make this rebuild easy. We want to make this a challenge, okay? And a lot of these schools, they just need help. They're just not good programs, okay? Whether it's coaching, they just don't have the athletes to compete. Kennesaw State, we know all about them from playing this game already, right? Nothing needs to be said about that. Now, the school I'm going to be choosing is actually going to be the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, the Rebels, okay? And now the Rebels have a bit of history, but they haven't found much success. They've been around for 46 seasons, and in those 46 seasons, from 1978 to current time, they have an adjusted record of 181, 350, and 3. Now, that adjusted record is from wins being vacated by the NCAA. Okay, so they're not a winning program, to say the least. They switched conferences in 1999 to the Mountain Conference and just haven't found any success there much, really at all. They only have a couple seasons where they have a winning record, which were all-time winning records, actually. 1984 was their best season ever. They won 11 and 2 and won the California Bowl. In 1994, they went 7 and 5 and won the Vegas Bowl. And in 2000, they won 8 and 5 and won the Vegas Bowl as well. You jump 3 years, they went 6 and 6, no bowls. 2013, they went 7 and 6 and lost in the Heart of Dallas Bowl. And just last year, in 2023, they went 9 and 5, surprisingly, and lost in the Guaranteed Rate Bowl. So we want to improve their consistency, number one, because they're all over the place. Now, in this school's history, they only have one All-American. Grow, Joe Christosick, who was a punter in 1998, who was in the UNLV Hall of Fame, didn't go to the NFL. And in terms of the NFL, they don't have much pro players that went on. Now, their most notable player that went pro was Randall Cunningham, who played at UNLV from 1981 to 1984, who actually holds the all-time UNLV passing record of 8,020 pass yards and 59 career touchdowns. So part of this rebuild, we're going to try to find a quarterback that can outdo Randall Cunningham, who can surpass his records and go on to have a pro career, because we need recruits to come here, okay? Now, Randall Cunningham was drafted 37th by the Eagles in the second round in 1985. In 1988, he was the first quarterback that was black selected as a starter for the Pro Bowl. So he's got a bit of history behind him, and we want to create a new culture here where you can find success in the pros, you will find success on a collegiate level, and you will hopefully find success after football by coming here to UNLV. Now, currently they're coached by Barry Odom, who got them to the 9-5 record last year. And previously, he coached Missouri from 2016 to 2019. But in this storyline, Barry Odom got a better offer. So he's gone. And we're going to create a whole new coach. Now, part of the reason why I selected UNLV, the Raiders moved to Las Vegas. And the Allegiant Stadium opened in 2022 during the COVID year. Now, their capacity is 65,000. And the Rebels play in this stadium. So we're hoping the stadium atmosphere can draw on some big recruits and give them a taste of what comes to the future, hopefully if they are selected in the National Football League. Now, UNLV has an all-time bowl record of 3 and 2. which is positive. So that's a positive note. But we want to get them in more bowl games. They've never been ranked on the AP poll. So we've got some work to do here. So we're going to jump right in
And
here.
now you'll choose where to start. Here, you'll choose to create
And
a coach of.
I don't
Now
know
it's
who that
time to
coach
choose
is,
your coach
but we're going to
archetype.
make a new
Your
coach.
starting choices are motivator,
And we're going to go with
recruiter, and
recruiter
tactician.
because
What is the most important thing to you?
motivator
Acquiring players,
is very
maximizing
good,
player
but we
development,
need to
or
pull in some
putting your
recruits
team in the best
first and
position to
foremost.
succeed?
Now, as alma mater, we're going to stick strictly to the Nevada pipeline here. Part of the challenge is we're going to want to pull some recruits, hometown recruits, and always be recruiting. He's going to be doing some recruiting. Now, the face template, the actual coach himself, we're not going to worry too much about his appearance. You know, we're just going to make a big dude, okay? This guy's going to be 6'4", 346, just a unit, okay? And we are in
Congratulations.
here.
It's time to
Okay, so
sign your first
as I
coaching
said,
contract. Make sure to pay attention to
this
the
team hasn't done well
expectations of the role.
over the
These are
last two
based
decades.
on real-life historical records of the school. Failing to meet the university's
Diamond 5
expectations
last year.
will land
They
you
want us to
on the
win
hot
4 games
and
this year,
potentially
which
have you
I
looking
think we
for
can
a
do.
new job when the coach.
We're going to sign this contract and we're going to get started. Now, the first thing we're going to do in this episode is go over the roster and jump into recruiting. Now, this roster needs some work, but there's some potential here. Unfortunately, our best players are all seniors, so we're not going to have them next year. Hopefully, we can, maybe we don't lose some of these guys to graduation. Maybe we can convince some of them to stay. But Ricky White the third, wide receiver, number 11 route runner. He's got gold cutter. Is that platinum press pro? Recruit, double dip, sure hands, clear headed, the natural fan favorite. This guy is going to be our number one option at all times. If he's on the field, the ball is going his way. Okay? Our next best player is another senior, free safety. He's pretty fast. Now, he's a senior though, so, you know, the backup situations for this defense are not great. I mean, even our strong safeties, we got 2 seniors and a freshman, but he's looking pretty decent for a redshirt freshman, 75 overall already. But we're gonna start off with the quarterback here, Connor O'Neal, field general, 6'5", 234. He's a big boy, but he's got no physicals, no mental. He's 74 overall, and he's already a junior. And our backup is a senior. We have 1 freshman on this roster. He's a 66 overall scrambler from El Paso, Texas. He's probably not going to see the field for a few years. So our number one need right now is quarterback. So when we go recruiting, we're going to look for a quarterback. Whether it's an athlete, a field general, a scrambler, we can't really be too picky at this point. We just need someone who can get the job done, can stay consistent. Our running back situation is looking a little better. Our number one running back is a sophomore, a loose back. He has sidestep in 360 with the 92 agility, 90 change of direction, 93 excel, 90 speed. Now, my playstyle personally, I like fast backs that can create opportunities in the open space. Agility, acceleration, change of direction, those are all very important stats to me. Michael Allen, same thing, 95 acceleration, 93 speed. His agility is a little lower, change of direction is a little lower on that threshold, but that's okay. He can be a good receiving back for us. He can maybe return some kicks and some punts. We're going to figure out how to get him in the playbook. Our third string running back, he's more of a power back. Kylan James, head first, workhorse balance. We're going to put him in the power. Then we have two freshman backs who just kind of look like guys, nothing special here. And then we have a redshirt freshman, another power back. So we need some variety here. The wide receiver room is okay. Of course, our standout number one, Ricky White the third. We got Jacob the Jesus number two. He's got no physicals, no mental. He's a small guy. He graduates next year. So we have to replace him immediately. Corey Thompson Jr. Again, no physicals. He's a deep threat. He's got 92 speed, 93 acceleration, only 86 agility, and only 87 change of direction. So he's more of a, send him down the field. We're going to throw a bomb. We're going to throw a lob to him, and hopefully he can go up there and catch it. And we got another senior, Jaden Bradley, 6'4", deep threat. Again, he's not that fast. He's not that quick. It's more of a situation where we just kind of got to throw it up to our receiver and hopefully he can bring it down for us. Landon Rogers, a junior, 71 overall. This isn't looking great, okay, outside of 1 and 2. So quarterback, receiver, probably one of our first two needs immediately for this program. Tight end, again, two seniors and a junior. We have a freshman, but he's only 62 overall. So the offense isn't looking great, but it could be enough to win us some games, those 4 games that we need to win. It could be enough if our defense can hold it down. Our left tackle is a junior, redshirted. He has PA shield for his physical, and the backup is a sophomore, Will Thomas. Nothing special going on there. Our left guard, he's a senior, Jalen St. John. OL rally in second level. So he's got something. He's got 92 strength, which is great. Pass blocking is okay. Again, the backups, there's just nothing special here. Our center situation, he's got second level. He's a senior, though. So we're going to have some work to do on this offense. And it starts with quarterback, receiver, and the line. In quarterback in that order, number 1, line receiver, I'm not sure. We might be able to pull more receivers in the transfer portal, and maybe we can focus more on the O-line and actual recruiting. But we'll see once we get there. Our right tackle looks like a stud. Second level, strong grip, the natural road dog. OL Riley, he's 6'5", 325. He is a unit. 94 strength, 93 awareness, 91 pass block, 87 pass block. Power, 91 pass block power, I'm sorry. 87 pass block. And he's a decent run blocker. So, but again, he is a senior redshirted, so maybe we're going to back for this year. I'm not sure. Jonathan Cousins Davis, our backup, he's solid. He's good enough. Our defense left end, Antonio Doyle Jr. Again, though, a senior, 79 overall, 83 speed, 92 acceleration. This guy gets to the quarterback and fast. And this is what we need, but he's gone next year. And then we have another redshirt senior. He's more of a power rusher. But again, we need upgrades everywhere. Another senior on started on defense. It's just not ideal. Our defensive tackle, more seniors, 3 seniors, 4 seniors. So, we might even have to work on the defense first. I believe if you have a decent enough defense and the offense can get things moving and you can get a couple scores and maybe the defense can get a score, it's a little easier to win games when you just don't have anyone out on the defense. The DBs can't keep up with the speedy guys. It's tough. You can't make tackles in the open field. What should be only a 3-yard gain turns into 13. Defense is very important. Now, I wish our middle linebacker was a little faster. I do use the linebackers a ton. Again, another senior starter. And same situation for the left outside linebacker, senior starter. He looks good, but we're not going to have him in the future. Right outside linebacker, Marcel McDuffie. He's got blow up. He's 81 overall. He's a junior, so we'll have him next year. And the backup, again, senior. So the DBs are actually okay. But I hate to sound cliche. Again, seniors. So this guy's gone next year. Blanket coverage, jammer, house call, ball hawk, knockout. He's 6'1", man to man. This is our number one DB. He's gone next year. Darius Bishop, ball hawk, again, red shirt senior. And then we have Khalil Scott, a junior, clear-headed Legion. He looks like he'll be our number one DB next year. Or it could be Yarborough. Who knows? If he has a good year, maybe. The freshman, the sophomore, mm, Cassidy Burrow. I'm going to be learning these names as we go. It's my first time playing with this team. Now, I feel like in college football, the DBs are a little more important than the linebackers, just because so much happens. The hash marks are wider. The senior free safety, it just, all our seniors look, good, but we're not going to have them. So this first year may reflect last year, the 9-5 record. I'm not sure. I don't think we're going to get 9 wins. I'm thinking maybe about 5 wins is reasonable, just due to the quarterback situation. So we do have a freshman kicker, so we don't got to worry about kicker for some years. And punter we'll think about in a couple, but that's pretty much the overlook of the team. There's holes everywhere, okay? And you'll see as soon as we go to the recruiting, we're going to have needs across the board. But before we even get into that, I'm just going to go ahead and go into the recruiting tree. And number one, of course, we're going for a quarterback, the most important aspect of any football team on any level. Maybe besides high school, they run the ball a little more, depending. But on any pro level, collegiate level, quarterback, number one. If we don't have that, we have nothing. And I'm gonna be doing all these videos in one take. There's no script. There's gonna be no cuts. I'm gonna be playing all these games live, recruiting live. These will all be separate videos, broken up, but they'll all be one take. So excuse me if my words aren't as fluent as others. But we're gonna jump right into the recruiting, and let's take a look at some of these prospects. Now, the first thing I do in a rebuild is I go to who intends to sign to my school. Okay, so we got a one-star middle linebacker, Javier Parks. He's a pass coverage deal breaker, close to home. We just need guys at this point, so even if they're one star, we're gonna check them out because we have a lot of replacing to do. And if they have enough, skill, where they have enough speed, or we just need athletes out there that can compete. So sure, he's got a second. The California pipeline is working out. We got a quarterback here, Marshall Stoudemeyer, improviser, Air Force. I think we can beat Air Force out. Again, we're just gonna check these guys out real quick. We're gonna scout some of them, give them some of them scholarships to start gaining that early influence. And I'm really just gonna go through here and just sort of add these guys as I go. There's not gonna be many 3 or 4 star prospects at all that are really gonna want to commit here. And why would they? We have done nothing in the last few years. We do need to work on the O line. I see a lot of O linemen here. We're going to need receivers. And as I said, look at all these needs: right guard, right tackle, right outside linebacker, wide receiver, quarterback, tight end, middle linebacker. It just goes on and on. I'm not going to click every single person, but if you look interesting based on your physicals, I will scout you. Another quarterback scrambler, 5'9". There's no way you're seeing any playing time on my program. Tight end, Glenn Silva, blocking. I typically don't scout blocking tight ends. even if they're gems, their route running, their catching, their speed is never that great. They're more just glorified fullbacks at that point. Now, Sammy Ryder, receiving back, a guy like this, if he has 90 plus speed, 90 agility, 89 around that threshold, that we can work with that. Deontay Wiley, middle linebacker, got us to run stopper. Like once again, we just need guys. This is me just going through real quick and just seeing where we have needs, adding some of these guys to the board. Hopefully, some of them will be gems. Most aren't going to be very far in between. We're gonna add two more wide receivers here. There's two DBs, man to man, 5'8", 5'8". We're not even gonna look at you, DeAndre Dunham. We're competing with Air Force again. Any of these schools, and if I see, a top tier program who's chasing after a same recruit, I'm not even gonna bother. We don't have the resources. We're only starting out with 500 hours. Some of these programs have thousands. Okay, we're just not gonna be able to compete. Now, I'm kind of over some of these guys. Number two, I'm just looking again. If some of these guys are taller, bigger, you can kind of gauge from there without even scouting. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to sort by rating, and we're just going to see who is up here. We're in the top 10 for this four-star right tackle, Markel Boyette. He's 6'6", 304. He's power. And I like to run the ball. So that sounds good. But who are we competing with? Utah State, Boise State, UCLA, BYU in the number one. So we're going to put him on the board just because I feel like we have a chance. Again, Diego Luck, we're competing with Oregon, Cal, UCLA, Washington, and USC. But there's not much influence there. So I think I'm going to throw him on the board and we're going to attempt to get the four-star center, Diego Luck. These are all linemen. And you know what? We're just going to put them on the board and hopefully we can snag one of these guys. And that would just be a big boost to the program. Free safety, Brian Wenning, open, USC, UCLA, Stanford. I don't really know if we're going to be able to get this guy. Left outside linebacker. He has us ninth in the top 10. And we can compete with these schools. So we're going to go ahead and add him to our board. Tight end. Andres Galipo, USC. I mean, once again, Nevada, we can compete with these schools. So we're going to throw him on the board. He's 6'6", vertical threat. That's what we need right now in our offense. Defensive tackle, Chauncey Keaton. USC, Oregon, Arizona, UCLA. We're going to add him to the board. We might be able to compete with that right tackle, Ty McAfee, BYU, as his number one. Again, I feel like we can compete with some of these schools. Tight end, Joey Lewis, vertical threat, 6'4". His JUCO. I don't typically look at JUCOs, but in this case, we might do that in this rebuild for the first season or two just because we need guys. But what I'm going to do is look at some of these corners. And we got a two-star Pat Jolly. Now, I've noticed in these rebuilds the first year or two, um, there's rarely ever going to be three-star DBs that are going to want to look at you at all. But if we can grab a two-star, it's fine. Now, I barely ever look at any state. Now, you will find some guys here, five-star. It's a possibility. He has no offers. A white dude named Femi Okwara. Okay, if we ever sign him, we're gonna change that skin tone there. But Cal number one, UCLA, USC, Stanford, Washington. I almost feel like we could compete with that. He doesn't have anyone too close in influence. So maybe if we offer him a scholarship and then just send the house, week one of the season, we might be able to just boost up there. We got Antoine Speed, Florida State, Florida, Ohio State, Clemson, Alabama. Now again, he has a deal breaker of playing time, and we have A plus for that. He would start for us immediately. If not, he would redshirt freshman. And either way, we don't have him in the pipeline, but we're gonna throw him on the board because we need DBs. And then we have Paul Rhodes, Tennessee's zone, eighth in his position, two in the state, 72 national, four-star. And again, we're competing with USC, Oregon, BYU, Cal. And his deal breaker is proximity to home. We have A minus. He has a need of B minus. Some of these guys, I think we're gonna let just see what happens. Let it play out the first week or two, how many offers they get. Um, because when you go to this screen here, when you're searching for prospects by rating, and you're a lower school, you never want to go with the guys. You'll see here in a few weeks when we get there, they're gonna have some offers, but some of them won't. Even in the later weeks, even during bowl week, some of these guys don't have offers. So that's the time you want to snag them. It might be better to try to go for the 4, 3, or even the 5-star recruits in the early weeks, only because it's a little easier to get the 3-star, the 2 stars, and the 1 stars. You kind of just offer them scholarships, and they just kind of go ahead with it. And it would be awesome to get some athletes on the squad. And we're just looking at top athletes here: Penn State, Rutgers, Washington, FSU. Um, a physical guy, which means he's probably gonna be a tight end. His deal breaker, no pipeline there. We might just let a week or two go by and see what happens with him. And then here we have some 3 stars. A 5'9" elusive back, Jordan Allen, Army, Ole Miss, Georgia, tennis. Christian Ruggins, power back, 5'10", 227. Now I'm looking for more of a athlete, someone who's fast. We need speed on this team. And as I'm saying that, Shaquille Smoot looks interesting. LSU is his number one offer: Kentucky, Northwestern, Ole Miss, and NC State. We might be able to compete with that right now. We only have one target left. I'm actually going to look at middle linebacker here. We're going to look at recommended really fast. And we have number one, we're in his top 10. He's a 3-star. Bill Wall, pass coverage. And he has a deal breaker of proximity home, A minus. So a lot of these guys we're going to try to snag. Air Force, B. We can compete with that. So we're going to add him to the board. I'm not sure. Did we just add him to the board? It doesn't look like we did. But we're going to add him to the board. And now we're going to come back over here to the recruiting board. And we're just going to scout some of these guys. Okay. So Javier Parks, he's a 1-star. We might just hit one or two. Zone man coverage is terrible. Um, he's just not looking great. Max Priester, 67 power, 66 power moves. I mean, some of these guys are not going to be great, but as I said, we just need personnel. Michael Felix, 52 awareness, 78 agility. He's got road dog, 83 change of direction, 83 speed, 84 acceleration. We're going to come back to him. I'm just going to go really fast through some of these guys. Right guard, lead block, not great. His fan favorite. What's his deal breaker? Proximity to home. We need offensive line. He doesn't look great, but we need offensive line and fast. Sam Tuikulovado. Now, I apologize for butchering that. Uh, Not great. This is going to be a tough one. As I said, we're in here for the long haul. We're not going to be great immediately. It's going to take a season or two. 69 tackle, 82 acceleration. We're going to hope he has decent speed. Again, I said we need athletes, so he's fast enough. Emmett Koch, 83 agility. It's just not 64 release. That's not great. Um, Sometimes these route runners have a lot of speed. He does not. 74. Wow. All right. So we're gonna stop looking at some of these one stars. Even though I said we need guys, I don't really want to waste too many scouting points on them. I already wasted almost half. So Markel Boyette and his his deal breaker was playing time. We have A plus. He needs B minus. I mean, I'm not even gonna scout more than that. We already know. We're gonna offer him a scholarship. Diego Luck. I mean, even if these guys are busts, they're going to be immediately better than whatever we have. 86 lead block, 88 impact, 80 run block power. He's got 70 awareness, which is good starting off for a freshman ability, second level. I'm not going to waste any more points scouting him. We're going to offer him a scholarship. Sam Lowe, again, I'm not going to spend too much time here. I'm not even going to go more than that. 94 strength, and he's got strong grip. We're going to offer you a scholarship. These are some of these guys we're going to be doing, throwing the house at off the rip. James Hyde, again. Oh, went a little brain dead there. And I was down James Hyde. Okay, so we're competing with UCLA, San Jose State. We can do that. I'm not even going to scout. I might just hit one time just because I got addictions and I got to see something. But again, even if he's a bust, a 4 star or 3 star, it's better than what we have and what we will have in the future. Andres Galipo, the 6'6 tight end, 84 agility. He's got 80 speed, 88 acceleration. Is great on a tight end. We're going to offer him a scholarship and hope for the best. Chauncey Keaton, again, even if he busts, he's still better than anything that we have right now. 71 power move, 63 awareness. We're just going to offer him a scholarship. Now, Pat Jolly was interesting. We're going to see 57 tackles, not great, 84 speed. It's good enough to be on the team. Femi Okwara, and his deal breaker was playing time or proximity to home. Actually, um, we might be able to beat some of these teams out. He's going to be great in the zone, as that's his tendency. We're going to offer him a scholarship. Speed, we're just going to offer these guys scholarships. Wall, all these 3 stars, all these 4 stars are just going to get scholarships. Um, and then we're going to go back to these 1 stars. Well, actually, what I'm going to do, I got to look at quarterbacks, okay? I got to get started on that. So I'm going to take some of these guys off the board that I just didn't like. Michael Felix, you can go. 6'5" DT is interesting. I'm going to keep him up there. Brandon Cantrell was the right guard. I just need the guys. We're going to keep him there. Uh, Cortez Jammer looks... Was this the receiver that had... Where was the receiver? Yeah, 74 speed. You can go. Um, she too. he too. She too. And the JUCO player, we'll take him off here. So that gives us 3 slots to find 3 quarterbacks. Now, some of these quarterbacks are just going to be garbage. Um, I want someone who's tall who can, take some damage. 6'2" scrambler, UCLA. We're going to add him. 5'9" is just unacceptable. I mean, damn, we got a 3 stars, got us in the top 10. Now we're competing with UCLA and USC, but they already have a ton of quarterbacks, or at least USC. They consistently always have someone up there. So he doesn't have a deal breaker, but we're gonna make an attempt. Frederick Bruner, looks a little easier, but uh, Andre Drake, improviser. Again, USC, UCLA. These are the teams we're going to be competing with in our region. And Martin Conklin. So Andre Drake looks interesting. We're going to add him, and we're going to scout. Now, 84 power isn't great. 72 speed is not great. So I wonder why he's a 3-star. Is he even a quarterback? 74 medium. That speed worries me. So I'm gonna check out Darren Considine. Sorry for butchering some of these names. 78 speed is not great. Pull down, headstrong. He's a bust. And the throw power, I'm just gonna take these guys off the board. The throw power and speed are not good enough for me. And we got Manuel Lorenzo, 86 throw power. It's not looking great. 87 acceleration is a little better. We're gonna offer him a scholarship only because we only have 5 points left for this week. So we're gonna offer him a scholarship, and we're gonna sim to the next week and see what happens here. Hopefully, we'll jump up to number one on the board for some of these guys. And yeah, not much going on week one. Brand exposure is just not great, but I think we can work on that. We're actually 82 in the nation for brand exposure, and it's not looking great when Rice has more exposure than you. Um, I'm not worried about any of these players on the risk for transfer. And Cantrell's was number one, which just expected he's a 1-star. Bill Wall, 3-star, has us number three. We're competing with Utah State and Boise State. I think we can sway him. And the DT, I mean, we didn't even offer him a scholarship, and he has us in his top three. We could easily offer him a scholarship, DM him, send some friends and family, and we can make that work. Now here, we have 400 hours to work with again. So I'm going to immediately look for quarterbacks again. And it's just not looking great. Um, we can gain some influence on these guys. Martin Conklin, we're gonna check him out. If he's got good enough throw power and speed, we're gonna give him a shot. And that's about it for recommended. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at any state and see if we can find any 4 or 5 stars. There's no more 5 stars, but there is a 4-star. He got a scholarship offered by USC. Now, do we want to add him to the board? 6'3", 222. That's what I'm looking for. He's got a deal breaker of proximity to home, which we could sway him on that, and hopefully that takes it away from the California teams. Brian Hook. So we're gonna add him to the board, and we're gonna come back over here. Um, it's gonna take some time to go through some of these guys. Really, we're just trying to gain influence with some of these scholarships before anything. Martin Conklin, we're hoping has the throw power, has the speed. He's got abilities. Mobile, deadeye, pull down, headstrong. 86 throw on the run, 80 under pressure, 79 break sack, 82 short accuracy is promising. So we're going to go ahead and go to the next level here. 85 throw power is not what I'm looking for, but the 80 speed, 81 agility, he's got decent accuracy, and he's got abilities. So we're going to actually offer him a scholarship. And now, before I do anything else, we're going to scout. Okay, all right, this is what I'm looking for here. Brian Hook, 6'3" scrambler, 222. He's got 92 throw power, 91 acceleration, 84 brake sack. And look at his abilities. He's got option king, extender, off platform, and he's got winning time for mentals. Wow. 85 short accuracy, 81 medium already, 91 acceleration, 83 speed. This guy is looking like a winner. We're going to immediately offer him a scholarship, and we're just going to send the house at him. We're going to do whatever it takes to get Brian Hook out of Reno, Nevada. Okay. Now we can sway USC for sure. We have to. I mean, we have to. It's not even a question whether or not. We just have to. Okay. So what we're gonna do, Conklin, we're gonna keep him there just in case. Lorenzo, we're gonna keep on the board. Bill Wall, I do want to scout a little bit some of these 3 stars just to make sure. 83 tackle, 64 awareness is okay. 71 change of direction, 69 play rec, not great. 87 acceleration is what I'm looking for. Hopefully he has around 80 speed. We're gonna offer him a scholarship, and I feel like if we just contact his friends and family, he's gonna want to talk to us. Antoine Speed had a deal breaker, playing time A plus. That's doable. 68 play rec, 75 catching is great on a DB. What is this speed? 90 acceleration, 88 change of direction. I'm not gonna waste any more points. He's going to be fast enough. So we offered him a scholarship, and he's got a jammer and house call. So I think we're actually gonna send the house on Antoine Speed here because we have A plus for his deal breaker. We can sway that. Okara already has us in his top 10. He was number 1 in the state, number 5 nationally. He's number 2 at the position. Now, 93 acceleration, 90 speed, 70 awareness, 74 plate rec. This guy is going to be a monster. Again, we're going to send the house. And we are competing with the California schools again, but this is winnable. And we need players. We need superior athletes at this program. We have 85 hours left for this week. Now, I did want to check out Ty McAfee, 79 strength. It's just not great. Right tackle. I mean, you can get away with it. He's got enough run blocking. Average pass blocker. BYU. I mean, Utah State. We're gonna DM him because we don't have a lot of points. Chauncey Keaton, 87 strength is okay. And again, we're competing with USC. I think we can get this guy. We're gonna DM him just for now. Um, Andres Galipo actually has this number 1. So I'm gonna go ahead and contact friends and family, and that leaves us with 10 more points. Now Hyde has a 6th. Some of these 4 stars have us, Markel Boyette in the top 5. I think this is winnable. Playing time A plus deal breaker. Again, these are all winnable recruits. We're gonna just DM him because that's all we have left, and then we're gonna get out of here. And another bye week, so we're gonna go ahead and advance the week. And Boyette actually has us number 1 now. Okay, that's great. Nothing moving up here. We haven't played yet. So Markel Boyette has us number 1 4-star recruit right tackle. This is winnable. All their interest is going down. Hyde has a 6. This looks winnable though if we just we need some more points. Andres Galipo, number 1 over USC. This guy is going to be really important to the program. Ty McAfee has us actually number 2. So we have a chance to build this O-line, even though there's 2 right tackles here. We can always change positions, move people around on the line. Okpara just took us out of the race immediately. 5-star recruit wants nothing to do with us. That is okay. because our main target right here, Brian Hook, actually has us number two, USC. We're gaining ground, and we're gaining ground fast. If we can get him, that will immediately turn this organization around. And we're going to be playing Houston in week one of this rebuild. So thank you for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. I want this rebuild to be not only me, but you guys that are watching. Uh, I want your input. Who do you want to go after? What kind of offense do we want to run? What kind of defense do we want to run? You guys just let me know. In episode two, we're going to be playing Houston week one. And that's it. Hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you later.